Hi, my name is Aya. You're watching Aya Reads, and I'm here to talk about my most anticipated April new releases. So, April is such a great month for new releases. A lot of books that I'm highly anticipated are coming out this month. This is the first time I'm going to be doing a monthly most anticipated releases. The thing with these videos is that I want to let you know what kind of books are coming out. This doesn't necessarily mean that I'm gonna get to all of these. I mean, in a perfect world, I would, but unfortunately, I don't have unlimited time, and I do really also love to read backlist books. I'm gonna give you a brief synopsis of these books, but some of them, since I don't really have a whole lot of interest in reading them myself, I won't know a whole lot about it. Also, there's gonna be a section of either first books in series or just standalones. That's gonna be the first section, and the second section is gonna be sequels. Once again, not all of these sequels are going to be ones where I have read the first book. And with the sequels, I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time giving you a synopsis because I figure if you're interested in a sequel, then you have already read the first book. And these are going to be in order of publication date, starting with Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez. So this book comes out on April 2nd, and this is her new book. I don't know if this is going to be a series or if this is just a standalone, but you follow Emma and Justin, and both of them are cursed, where every time they're with somebody, they will leave them, and the next person their ex is dating is their soulmate. They meet each other. They make this deal where they'll date each other and then break up, and hopefully that will cancel out each other's curses so that they can go on and find their own soulmate as opposed to being the one that came before the soulmate. So obviously that's not going to work out. They're going to fall in love. I do really love the cover. It's very summery. And the little dog is just so adorable too. So very excited about this one. This is definitely going to be a book I'm going to be reading in April. Next is a historical romance. It's called The Lady He Lost by Faye Delacour. So this is about two people who used to be best friends when they were little, but he's a lieutenant, but he was supposed to be dead. He was in a shipwreck and then he disappeared for 2 years, and now he's back, but he lost his savings. His fiance married somebody else, and now he's returned and he kind of wants to get his life in order, including getting the girl that he's always loved, which is not his fiance because she's his ex-fiance's cousin, and she has always pined for him all these years, but the fact that he chose her cousin over her really betrayed her, and now she wants to establish this ladies gambling den, and he really wants to help her with it, and sparks fly, and it sounds very good. And this is described as a friends to enemies to lovers, which I really like those. I believe this is her first book, so it's also a debut book, so that's exciting. Next is Old Flames and New Fortunes by Sarah Hogel. So this is confusing because on Goodreads it says it's both going to come out on April 2nd and April 23rd. Maybe it's like different releases for different countries. I don't know, but I just slotted it in with the April 2nd releases. So this is the type of book that I love, where it's set in a contemporary setting, but there's magic too. Like, it reminds me a little bit of the Ex-Hex. So she is this magical florist who helps people manifest their true loves, and she wants to buy this business. She wants to discuss this deal at a wedding, which I don't know why. So she needs a fake date to the wedding, and she fake dates the soon-to-be stepbrother of her ex that was the love of her life 11 years ago. And then, of course, she's going to run into the ex again, and this is going to be a second chance romance. And this just has everything I love. It does really remind me of the Ex-Hex because it has like this magical town, even though it's like also very contemporary. And it is a second chance romance, which I also really love. And Sarah Hogel wrote You Deserve Each Other, which that book got some mixed reviews, but it is a book that I have been interested in. So yeah, very interested in this one. Here We Go Again by Alison Cochrane, which comes out on April 2nd as well. And this is a female-female romance about these two girls who take their teacher. Okay, so they used to be best friends, childhood best friends, and now their former teacher, I believe, is dying, I think. So they take her out for like one last road trip, like them two plus the teacher, because an incident the summer before high school turned them into bitter rivals. And they went 10 years without speaking, and now they're in their 30s. And on this road trip, they discover their friendship, and maybe it turns into something more. And this is a summer trip from Washington State to the Grand Canyon, from the Gulf Coast to coastal Maine, that will chart a new future and perhaps lead them back to one another. This sounds good. I do like the idea of having been best friends and then something tearing you apart and now trying to reconnect. On April 4th, another debut comes out, The Kiss Countdown by Etta Easton. This is another fake dating romance. So between a jobless, newly single, about to lose her apartment girl and a astronaut, she runs into her ex and his new girlfriend. She pretends that she's dating this guy she met at this coffee shop. So they agree to fake date, and he also agrees to let her stay at his apartment in exchange for her also pretending to be his girlfriend in front of his family. And of course, this does not stay fake dating. This, once again, has a lot of tropes I really love. Fake dating, roommates to lovers. And yeah, this reminds me a little bit of The Right Move, which any book that reminds me of The Right Move, I need in my life instantly. Like, she needs money, so he offers for her to stay at his place, or they live together, plus fake dating, is Right Move coded all the way. And I do love the fact that he's an astronaut. I've not read a romance with an astronaut, so that is interesting. April 9th, of course, is Wild Love by Elsie Silver. So this is Elsie Silver's newest book in her newest series, and I'm very excited about this. This I'm going to be reading as soon as it's in my hand. You follow Willa's brother, who Willa, of course, we met in the Chestnut Spring series. She was the nanny in Heartless. Her brother is very rich, and this is a best friend's little sister romance. She needs a job, and he offers her one, but he's been interested in her for a while now. And listen, honestly, I don't need to know anything about this book. All I know is it's by Elsie Silver. It follows Willa's brother, who we actually met him in the 5th book. So very, very excited about this. And I do love like best friend sister romances, or like brother's best friend. Like, I love those so much. The Familiar by Leigh Bardugo also comes out on April 9th. And this is a historical fantasy where you follow this Jewish girl who is like a maid, but she also has magical abilities. And then her mistress realizes that, and she wants to use her to further her own means and her own family social position, and that like leads her into a web of nobility and things with the king, but it's dangerous obviously because she's Jewish. This sounds very good, very, very good, and it's Leigh Bardugo. I don't need to know anything else. I've only read Lee's Grisha books, so I've not read anything else by her, so very excited to read a book that is not set in the Grisha universe. I've not read Ninth House yet, so this is going to be probably the first book I'm going to read that is not set in the Grisha world. How to End a Love Story also comes out on April 9th. So this is about Helen and Grant, and something that happened years ago, like an incident that happened years ago, or a tragic accident that happened years ago, bound their lives together. But now they are in like the TV industry. You know, she's a best-selling author and he's a screenwriter. She's an author, and they're both working together on like the adaptation for her famous books. So they have to work together, but now they have to confront their past. Her parents have never forgiven him for something, for like the accident, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, and I believe the author is a screenwriter. So it says here she's the screenwriter of Emily Henry's People We Meet on Vacation, which has that already been adapted, and the director of Beach Read. So that's funny, actually. Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to get around to this one, but it does sound interesting to me. Another one that comes out on April 9th. April 9th is a very, like, I'm pretty sure all the books are coming out on April 9th. The Prospects by Katie Hoffman. This is a male-male sports romance, which say less. This is baseball, which I do like to read baseball romances. Oh, this actually, one of them is trans, I just realized. So they are actually rivals, but they play on the same team now. It's a Rivals to Lovers. Like I said, one of them is trans, and it sounds very good. And this is also a debut novel, so pick this one up. Next is Late Bloomer by Maisie Eddings, which comes out on April 16th. And this is just one of the most beautiful books, or the most beautiful covers ever, in my opinion. So this is about a woman who just won the lottery, but it kind of ruined her life because people just wanted things from her all the time. And now she decides to buy this failing flower farm so that she can be alone and not be bothered by anybody. But when she gets there, an angry woman is waiting for her, saying that she's the rightful owner of said farm, and I'm pretty sure they're gonna fall in love. And like I said, this cover is just so beautiful. Like, I just want to buy this book simply because of the cover. On April 16th, When I Think of You by Maya Ariel comes out. Another debut novel. This is another book that deals with the film industry. You follow Kalia, and she works at the reception desk at this flashy film studio, and she wants to do something with movies, but she never really got the opportunity to do so until her ex comes back. And now, ever since they broke up, his career has flourished and he's a famous director now. And now they have to work together and their old feelings rekindle. Sounds good. This cover is beautiful. I love her dress and the background, beautiful. April 23rd, Funny Story by Emily Henry comes out. This I, of course, have to read because it's Emily Henry and also because it's probably going to win the Goodreads Choice Awards again for the romance category. So it's a romance between the exes of their exes. So her ex is dating somebody else and her ex, it's their romance. Daphne's fiance was Peter, and it turns out Peter was in love with his childhood best friend Petra and Petra's ex, Miles. So Daphne and Miles get together. I don't know if I made any sense, but I'm sure you get the gist. So, falling in love with her ex-fiance's new fiance's ex. So, yeah, it sounds good. I do enjoy Emily Henry's books. I've only given her 1 5-star in the past before, so hopefully this will be my next 5-star. Next is The Stranger I Wed by Harper St. George, and this one also comes out on April 23rd. So I've heard great things about Harper St. George. I've never read a book by her, so maybe this will be her first series I start. And this follows an American heiress, Cora Dove, who needs a husband, or she goes to the UK to get a husband. Enter Leopold Brendan, who's an earl, and he wants to get this bill through Parliament that will provide clean water for the working class, but in order to do so, he needs a wealthy wife. So they get married and they will fall in love. I love that. One of my favorite books of all time is It Happened One Autumn, which is also about an earl and a wealthy American heiress. So say less. Truly Madly Deeply by Alexandria Bellafleur. This cover, he reminds me so much of that one dude from Stranger Things. I'm pretty sure he's modeled after him. I don't know. So this comes out on April 30th. So this is a romance between a lovelorn romance novelist and a divorce lawyer. They co-host this podcast offering dating advice to viewers, which is called Truly Madly Deeply. And of course, they're gonna fall in love. And the last book that is not part of the series is Happy Medium by Sarah Adler, which also comes out on April 30th. And this is about this woman who's a con woman. So she pretends to be a medium and earns money that way. So she goes to this house to try and cleanse it from evil spirits. And the guy living there does not believe her at all, which fair because she is a liar. But when she gets there, she realizes there's actually a ghost that she can see and communicate with. So now she needs to convince him not to sell the property to appease this ghost. And it sounds so good. Once again, I just love contemporary settings with magical elements woven in. I love it. I love the cover too. Now for the sequels. Like I said, I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time talking about these sequels. Not that I spend a lot of time talking about the other books, but these ones are going to be quick to the point. On April 2nd, Only and Forever by Chloe Leese comes out. I'm pretty sure this is the last Bergman Brothers series. And yeah, this is a long series with 7 books following different members of the Bergman family, all falling in love. I'm pretty sure most of them have either disabilities or struggle with their mental health, so they're very diverse. The Rule Book by Sarah Adams. This is the sequel to The Cheat Sheet. And this is a football romance, I'm pretty sure American football romance. And this is, I believe Sarah Adams's books don't have any smut, which is one of the reasons why I'm not that interested in them. The Hemlock Queen by Hannah F. Witten. This is the sequel to The Foxglove King. And this is a fantasy romance. And this one comes out on April 9th. On April 9th, A Promise of Peridot by Kate Golden also comes out. And this is the sequel to A Dawn of Onyx, which was also a pretty popular fantasy romance. On April 12th, Pirate Girls by Penelope Douglas comes out. And this is the sequel to Falls Boys. And I believe this is the spin-off from the Fallaway series. Pretty sure. Taming Seven by Chloe Walsh comes out on April 16th. So this is the 5th book in the Boys of Tomon series. And this is a long-anticipated Claire and Gibbs's book. So I've only read Binding 13. I'm currently reading Keeping 13, but I'm not loving it. I loved Binding 13. I gave it 4.5 stars. Keeping 13, I'm having a little bit of issues with. It's just too long for me. But a couple that I am very interested in are Claire and Gibbsy. So I'm pretty sure I'm not going to get around to it as it comes out because I still need to read Joey's books. But I'm pretty sure I'm going to be reading it this year, so very excited about that. And last but not least is King of Sloth by Anna Huang. This is the Fourth book in her Kings of Sin series, the first one being King of Wrath. This follows different billionaires personifying a different deadly sin. So this one is the sin of sloth. So very excited. I've only read King of Pride and I was already very intrigued in this couple, which are Xavier and Sloane. So very excited about this one, and I am going to be reading it this month. So those were all the new releases that are going to come out in the month of April. Definitely let me know in the comments below which one of these you're the most interested in. I would really love to know. And if there's a book that I missed that is coming out in April, definitely let me know in the comments below. And I really hope you enjoyed this video. Definitely let me know by leaving a like if you did. And thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.